Hello, and welcome to the South Caribbean Conference in the beautiful island of Trinidad, home of the Scarlet Ibis, Steel Pan, the Pitch Lake, Carnival, Roti, our famous doubles, and Palau. We are delighted to share with you the activities and events that were executed during the period under review. Our conference, like many other institutions around the world, was hit by the COVID-19 virus, but our church was resilient and kept afloat by the goodness and mercies of an ever-loving Lord. 2018 rolled around, and with it came the excitement of Camp Meeting. Camp Meeting SOS 2018. Highlights included prayer for the armed forces and members of parliament. Our featured speakers were Dr. Ainsworth Morris and Dr. Cheyenne O'Connor. 18 precious souls were baptized. 2019 followed, and it started with training, and so we had Dr. Mark Yarhouse conducting training on counseling homosexuals. Attendees were our sister fields, the general public, and leaders of the evangelical faith. In August of 2019, South Caribbean Conference hosted its 43rd session, themed, "We Have This Hope, Jesus is Coming." Elected were President Pastor Leslie Moses, Secretary Paul Filbert, and Treasurer Dr. Yvette Peters. Pastor Devlin S. Snell was our featured speaker. One of the highlights of our session was the ordination service of 7 of our pastors in the person of Pastors Damian Lewis, Brian DeFreitas, Everett Jones, Edison Williams, Lester Joseph, and Vaughn Joshua. Later in the quadrennium, Pastors Clary Shannon Hospitalis and Larry Harrow were also added to gospel ministry. This was historic because it was done during the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic. Later in July of 2019, Dr. Kern Tobias reminded our teachers that the work of education and redemption are one, as they were commissioned to their call, to their sacred call. As with any thriving organization, we hire and sometimes have to say goodbye to workers. For this period, we lost 14 workers via retirement, with a combined total of 411.45 years of service. Sadly, Pastors Kenneth Phillip and Garvin Paul now sleep in Jesus. COVID-19 really tainted the landscape of our beautiful island, and sometimes we were tempted to believe that everything was sad, bad, or depressing. However, our church members and officers rose to the occasion, and we were able to dedicate 6 of our churches and rededicate 3 of them to the honor and glory of God. The church continues to maintain a very good working relationship with the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and as a result, the South Caribbean Conference was the recipient of 3 government grants to facilitate hampers for its members and communities affected by the economic fallout of COVID-19. We at South Carib have been blessed with departmental directors who produced under extenuating circumstances. For the period under review, especially these last 3 years, our directors were able to collaborate with their colleagues, host programs, equip the membership with tools for greater service, engage in evangelistic activities, host online church camp, the first in the Caribbean, host church services, and our outstanding church feature done by the Five Rivers Seventh-day Adventist Church, a dramatic series, The Family Altar, and A Fresh Start, now airing on our local television network, TTT. These were all accomplished during our lockdown initiatives. We joined forces with the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management to lend assistance to our Caribbean neighbors, Bahamas and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in their crises of Hurricane Dorian and La Soufre volcanic eruptions, respectively. Mr. President, please join us as we wrap up this report to share with the Union the evangelistic exploits of the South Caribbean Conference.
Thank you, Sister Deborah Ferreira, for the snippet of activities shared with the constituency at the 17th session of the Caribbean Union Conference. Dr. Ellie Henry, Dr. Kern Tobias, other delegates, please know and understand that we at the South Caribbean Conference, in spite of all we do, we understand full well that our core business, our number one activity, is evangelization. Can I tell you that when we look at the work that the laymen and the laywomen, the children, the pastors, and the youth of the church would have done, we would have accounted for 4,062 souls during the past quinquennium. To God be the glory. Great things he hath done. Thank you, and God bless you.